All right, we are here with Nalia de Arnis, Derderberder. 3-minute 3/3. Look at the top card of your library at any time. You can cast clerics, rogues, warriors, wizards from the top. This is not a new card. However, I did not know it existed until someone played it against me, and it seemed really cool. I'm not a big fan of the party. Okay, wait, getting ahead of myself. At the beginning of combat, if you have a full party, put a counter on each creature you control, and they'll gain Death Touch. So you want to play clerics, rogues, warriors, wizards. I'm not a big fan of that strategy. It seems a little sketchy. However, there's probably enough support to try it. It's kind of like the allies, except every creature's an ally. In this case, it's obviously not. Changelings cheat. So if you have any changeling, it counts as one. It doesn't count as your entire party at once. It just counts as one. So it fills in the gaps, though. So if you needed a warrior, it's just now a warrior. If the only thing you're missing was a cleric, it's a cleric, right? So it is very good at doing that, so it's worth running basically all of them. I'm not running the ones that generate 2/2 changelings. I don't really like those ones too much, but maybe at some point, but not to start. So you have some pretty cool options. Thwart the Grave is kind of nice. It's a little weird, though, because you're casting this probably, for the most part, after a board wipe, so I don't know. It's just going to cost 6, you know, it's like, okay. Coveted Prize, very good. It's just a discounted tutor if you have a whole thing of whatever you're doing, like the party thing. Stick Together is phenomenal. It also sacrifices. It doesn't destroy, so it gets around Ulamog, which it can be kind of interesting, right? It's going to sweep everybody but you for the most part, and that is not very common. And so I really, really, really like this card here. We do get kind of large. I know there's like situational white sweepers that don't blow up smaller white creatures, but we do get, we kind of start to grow beyond that being a good idea. So just sticking with Stick Together. We're sticking together. Elishnorn is just a solid card. There are some things in here that have nothing to do with the party, like Gideon seems interesting. Teferi's Protection, the white protection spells so you don't lose the game to a board wipe, Boromir and stuff. Sorin, I like this card. It would be kind of exciting for the plus to be super relevant. Maybe there's the other Sorin that's better. I guess there's, I think, 3 now at 4 mana. There's this one, and then the other one that's like kind of similar. And then there's that other one that like minus X's to reanimate or something like that. I think they're all probably viable, but I'm just going to start with this one. Shieldred is my, Shieldred the Whispering one is one of my favorite cards of all time. And so it's kind of cool to have like an emblem of it in a way. I think Shieldred the Whispering one is a terrible card though, so I'm not obviously running it, but Necropotence is in here. It's interesting to finagle the top of your deck, so I can just pay life to move a card out of the way, and then suddenly there's a castable card on top because of this text box. So that's pretty cool, right? Necro Dominance, I think, is only in your end step, so you can't do that. But with Necropotence, you can just get the card completely out of the way for 1 life, and yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna go over every Angel, Wizard, Cleric, Rogue in the deck. I mean, there's just, you just pick from the best. Some of them you'd recognize, others are like, why are you playing this? Well, it's just part of the party, but it's just a splash of all the creature types I need. This is your rogue, so you can, I guess, not run any rogues. Actually, okay, never mind. I was going to say I might not have that many rogues, but there's a fair amount of rogues in here. I think Warrior... Alright, Warrior, yeah, Warrior is probably the least represented one. Now, you have all of these, and then the Changelings that it's not putting up here as well. So it's not terrible, but I think Warrior might be the stress point, and I have to maybe make concessions and just run, like, draft filler Warriors if I'm finding that I'm not hitting Warriors enough. Also, keep in mind Black Market Connections. makes changelings. This is another changeling, and it makes continuous changelings. One of the few decks that really likes to make the changeling, and some tribal decks don't even like to do that, but this is one of them, right? 2 changelings is 2 for your party. They are gap fillers. That is neat. Bitter Blossom makes rogues. Kind of cool, although our commander is a rogue already. And the 1/1s aren't that exciting without your commander doing its thing, so I don't really know how I feel about Bitter Blossom, but still worth trying. So that's it. We play a party, we get the party in play, and then we ball out because it's a party. Like, comment, subscribe, send it. Wait, what? Oh, it's your library. I thought it was your opponent's library. I've never read this card. Okay, so it's your library. And, oh, my opponent also hit the best thing in the universe. Opponent would search a library to search top 4. Very unlikely. Oh! Oh, come on, please. 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 Just do something. Okay. Come on! Come on! Give me something! Just give me something! Oh, and it cost me my whole board, too? It actually cost me my board? Is it gonna cost me my board? Come on! Come on, dude. What am I supposed to do? Probably wise to play it first. I can also crack the food. Like, your creatures are food, so Bitter Blossom can actually net me life. And Skirtskad High Priest is massive in this, because I can eat my own food whenever I want. And that's kind of funny. I like it. Alright, well, there goes that. I have to tap this and 2 other creatures. Suppose I will play my commander, see what's on top, especially with a draw like this. Okay. And it's free attack, right? Yeah, it's a free attack. Okay. I'll leave the High Priest up. Okay, I don't know if they want it to... Oh, I guess it's free, right? Yeah, there's no reason not to swing. Okay. Very well. Oh, wait, yes there is, because now I can make a 5/5. I can make a 5/5. Opponent messed up. Oh, this is probably decent enough. Opponent messed up. They messed up. They gave me the value. Then I get to play this. Then I get to plus it. Then I get to swing. Alright. This is great. Oh, they blocked again! Okay, I was about to say, I can make another 5/5 when things die. It doesn't have to be on your turn. I can just do this now. Alright, we have a very scary board. Man, this is the best I've ever seen Skirtskad High Priest. Just a casual 2-mana 10/10. Look at that. That is not gonna cut it. You need a way to gain life or something. Sure, they're swinging just so they put food here, but again, there's just no way this is gonna be a problem, right? Unless it gets trample or something, and even still, I'm just fine. Okay. Sure. No. Is this lethal? Hold on. No, it's not lethal. I will plus again though. Oh, I should have cast free cards first. I'm dumb. My bad. I could have just plussed on here. I guess it's not that big of a deal, but so I have all of my creature types, right? I believe I do. Do I? No, I don't. Come on, game. Come on. I guess it doesn't matter. Like, this all has lifelink, too. This is lifelink. Do I make a thing now? I guess I will. Because, let's see, I'm never blocking with this or this, so that's fine. I have a Death Touch on the ground, a 5/5 in the air. This is fine. My opponent's at 5. They have to start eating a lot of food to offset all of this damage, and that's still very tough. Alright, they're probably just looking for something. I'm not sure why they tapped the birds first. It seemed like they wanted to eat it, but then they just didn't. Yeah, looks like they're just digging. Not sure, not even casualties of war saves you here. The only thing that saves them is this becoming lethal, and that's just, it's not even close. It needs like double strike, but they're green and black, they're not red, they can't fling it or anything. Okay, they have the penultimate perfect answer to everything, why not? Does that also kill me? Hold on, does that actually kill me? Because that's a lot of death triggers. Wow. Alright, well, of course. I didn't think that would do it, but yeah, I guess that does do it. That really sucks. I was literally going completely insane. I really was. That's so disappointing. Silly me. Yeah, you have Inquisition to Kozilek in your deck, and the first thing you hit is Portal to Phyrexia. Okay, you got it. Silly me. Well, I didn't know how the card read. That's my bad. That's my bad. No, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I wouldn't have be able to know what's on the top of my opponent's deck anyways. It wouldn't matter. Can't play around something that I don't know exists. But of course, they hit the best thing in their deck, because why not? And I had exactly 3 creatures. Whatever. Not much to say about that one. Okay, well, I don't need more white, so I guess I just get a swamp. And probably play my wizard. What does this do? When it becomes tapped, gain a life, draw a card. Okay. Soul Cauldron is different. This is only enchantments, right? Yeah. So I think I'm just playing my commander, or can I wait? I think it's better to play my commander, just so I can potentially get more value off the top of my deck and stuff. Let's see. Okay, they have to exile a creature to do the thing, so. There are no creatures. I'm missing one, and I have it in hand. Might be the first time I get to do the thing. That's pretty exciting. Sure. This explains all the Springleaf Drum nonsense. I can't say I'm too concerned with this, though. They did just tap all of their potential blockers. They could have just waited and done... Yeah, they could have just literally waited. Now I get to swing. I'm gonna fetch first before I decide what to do. Most likely the right play is just an untapped land. Okay, of course there's just nothing on top. Alright, so we have the thing with the stuff. I'm not going to tap Giver, I don't think. It is a green-white deck, but best I just don't tap it. This becomes lethal rather quickly. so I might be fine not swinging with this. But I can see an argument to attacking here. It does have Death Touch, and it's just more damage, but I think I'm going to get there with what I have. This is already unblockable too, right? Sure. Okay. Yep. What does this do? Sure, it's just another way to tap your commander, but it's already tapped. Okay, another land on top. Oh, come on. What is going on? Please stop. Alright, I'll get the Surveil land now. Didn't this happen last time? Didn't the same outcome? I guess I'm keeping it on top. I would like to blow this up, so I should do this now. Yeah, so this gets a 1/1 counter when I go to combat. I don't want my opponent to just win off the top of their deck, because apparently, actually both games I've lost are because my opponent just played off the top of their deck randomly. So I guess I will make that not a thing. So if I swing all out, they block that, I take 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're dead if I Alpha Strike. They can't just value trade. Oh, there's no value trade anyways. Never mind. This is 16 even if they block the 5/5, so they're just dead. Alright. They also didn't block the largest thing. They just blocked something kind of random. But, alright. Cool. Just went wide, got the party going, and then we balled out. Does it count immediately? Let's look. It doesn't. You have to wait for... I'm not sure what. The death animation? Yeah, it looks like it. That's weird. Alright, that's enough of that. I completed a tier 6 of that new Infernal Hordes thing, so that was pretty cool. That was insane, and apparently there's two, yeah, it goes 2 higher than that as well. Kind of nuts. Kind of nuts. What was I doing? Oh, just playing Magic. Okay. That was jarring. Magic Arena was just open. That was very jarring. Shoot. Okay, this is... is this the new one? Is this the new one? Yeah, it is. Alright. I don't think I like this, which is really unfortunate. Yeah, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like this at all either. This is actually just really bad. Yeah, I can't keep this. Did my pulling? They mulligan too? Okay. Oh, maybe they didn't? Oh, okay. Oh boy. Sure. What can we put back? Elishnorn's probably... I mean, Elishnorn's actually pretty good, though. I think we're going to try to get rid of a land, because we have a Surveil land. I think that's fine. Run their 1-drop out. I don't really care too much about this on turn 2. Depends what I draw, I guess. Alright, that makes my life just free. Just play this and swing. Okay, sure. Make them think I don't have a land, maybe? Who knows? But alas, I do. Do I run into a counterspell here, or do I not? Each creature you control... Okay. I think it's better to keep these two than the Broken Spirit. That is not what we're looking for. That is interesting. I think it's still better to make this choice, though. Man, land on top again. Oh my goodness. This card does not like me right now. Please just play your commander and none of these sweepers. Your blue-red deck, stop with the sweepers. Oh my goodness, with the sweepers, please. Come on. This doesn't shuffle, so... Alright, I'm still playing it though. There's just a good chance I find a second card to actually cast, and I did. Am I casting it? Yeah, I think I am. Alright, well, surely there's no third board wipe in your Is It Prowess deck. Certainly there's no third board wipe. Please, something. This is something, but it's... Oh wait, it's exactly what I need. Alright, perfect. Let's, I guess gain 2 life? Let's actually just get rid of one of these. Probably scarier. I don't know, maybe that's wrong. And it's probably a good idea to play Elish Norn, so I will play that. I don't think I need a Shock Lance here. I think this just makes sense. And I'm going to Alpha Strike your commander. So that is off the board. If this was like absolutely lethal, I'd go face, but it's not, and they have a blocker, so... It's also just very scary anyways, and it's now at the point where it's like River's Rebuke or bust. Okay, they have to pay 2 life, or pay 1 mana, I mean, otherwise they take damage. they gotta pay 2 life or take damage. Yeah, that makes sense. That adds up. Alright, we did it. We beat double Pyroclasm. That's kind of nuts. We beat double Pyroclasm. Kind of nuts. I will take it. Flubs loves all the time I'm giving it, but, I mean, it is what it is, right? Oh, wow. Okay. That's a very funny thing to copy. Does it trigger off of itself, right? Because you copy it and then you get a land? Oh, this is kind of cool. Yeah, you can do this however much mana you have, right? You just keep doing this. The land's untapped? Why is it untapped? Why do you do this to me? Okay, I don't think I could beat this if it was the only thing my opponent did, but it's kind of cool. I'm not really upset with this loss. That's kind of cool. That's alright. Alright, I'll take that loss. I'll take that loss. That's kind of neat. They just, like, make a bunch of things that get lands. I've never seen that before. Huh. Alright, I stumbled, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I was playing cards, but they're just not good cards. I think I'm done. Okay, this commander has drained my will to continue. It really has. It really drained my will. Okay, so I worked on it a little bit, a couple times as I was playing, and it's really, really, really bad. The one time I played against it, it had a phenomenal curve, and I was playing what I was playing, so it wasn't really impeding them, so it looked a lot better than it normally is, right? I was kind of sold when my opponent destroyed me in the game that they played it. They also, I think, cast 2 or 3 things off the top of this, and for some reason, I just couldn't do that. I'm playing I even made a more dense package of available targets, and I was not hitting anything off the top. It was kind of unbelievable how many times lands were on the top of my deck. It was insane. I tried to remove lands and lower the curve to, like, accommodate that, and it didn't help. Like, this commander did not want to work for me. But aside from the top of the deck thing, it's not too difficult to get the party going. However, once you get it going, you lose the game. It's like you put the counters on everything and you're sitting pretty and life is good, and then you pass to your opponent and then they kill you. So, like, that happened a lot. Or your opponent has any card in the game that bounces your stuff, sweeps the board, the One Ring, completely ignoring the only thing you can do, which is swing at your opponent. This is completely unplayable. I lost to decks and commanders I had never lost to before. I think, yeah, like Flubs. I don't think I've ever lost to Flubs, not that I can remember. And this just stared at Flubs and gave Flubs all the time in the world. It does not play the aggro strategy very efficiently at all. It really doesn't. You're not curving out perfectly and killing your opponent on turn 4 or turn 5. It's not happening. I had a perfect curve against an emoji player, and I literally like went 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. Perfect party. Counters were going. I'm swinging. And then guess what my opponent does? They played the One Ring. Then they played Karn's Temporal Sundering, or whatever it's called, bouncing the One Ring back to their hand and also taking an extra turn. And then the game was over. It was just over. It really didn't even need much after that fact, right? It doesn't matter what you do after that. You've essentially bought 2 turns because the One Ring gives you protection, and I can't stop that in any way. Blowing up the One Ring doesn't fix that problem. So I started to run Mana Tithe and Reprieve so I could do something against these cards. But those are, you know, they're not good enough on their own to carry what's the main issue here. The creatures you have to run to initiate the party are terrible, and they don't really work too well with each other. So it's just not, it's not possible. In a multiplayer, regular EDH, I know it's not really fair to use that example as a good argument, because this format is fundamentally different, but these cards exist for EDH in mind. Some of these cards do not exist for Brawl in mind. They're an afterthought. It doesn't care about Brawl, right? It doesn't care. So this commander just sucks. It really sucks. If you like it and you're playing it, cool. But like, it doesn't have infinite options like some commanders do. It's like, oh, you know, this commander has like 300 cards it can pull from. This one just doesn't, because it has to have a creature count, and it has to be, excuse me, the creature types. And mono white and black and white in general don't really have many very good wizards. They have solid warriors, kind of, not really, but the warriors are there. I know there was like Mardu was like warriors for Khans of Tarkir, so you have like the Mardu warrior package without the red ones. So there are warriors. Like, I mean, let's just bring this up. Like, these are the warriors, and some of these I don't even like. Like, this one's nice, but it's like a second version of your commander, sort of, but it costs 4 mana and still requires you to have everything you need, and you're not going to do that. Also, Stick Together, I don't think ever came up, because by the time I would have this matter, I'm dead. Or my opponent's dead, right? Like, I have 5 mana, and I have a party, or close to a whole party. And all of that would have to matter while my opponent has a board I'm willing to cast this. And I'm not casting any other thing in the turn, because I spent 5 minutes casting this. So this should cost 3. I know, kind of crazy to say. Actually, let's put it at 4, maybe 4, because if it was 3, then like every deck in like maybe it would beat like, I'm saying like a lot. It would beat what is it? Supreme Verdict in Legacy if this was on 3, maybe. I don't know. Actually, is this set banned in Legacy? The weird no, I don't think it is. But yeah, maybe 4. This probably couldn't be 3. So these are the warriors, right? Like, I'm just playing random warriors just to trigger this at this point. Like, some of these are just terrible. The clerics are fine. Black-white clerics are awesome. Whoops, that's not how you spell cleric, is it? The clerics were excellent. There's a lot of clerics, and I wasn't running all of the clerics. I think these are just kind of my favorite of the bunch. You can't just run all the good clerics. You have to make room for the other creature types. You can't just run all clerics. It's like, oh, this is an excellent card. Well, guess what? It's not a warrior, so... the wizard package, I think, was the smallest. Yeah, it was the smallest. I mean, you can add the changelings, so we had 4, 5, 6, and then however many changes, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, yeah, it's moderately consistent to get this going. I could have really forced it to be slightly more consistent, but that was not the issue. It's not the issue. Even having a perfect curve with a perfect party on turn 4 is not good enough. And if that isn't good enough, that is your core idea, your core game plan. It was not good enough. This is terrible. It's bad. It is so bad, it's probably one of the worst commanders I have ever played in Brawl. And I've played almost all of them. Or a large chunk of them. Refer to my prior videos, if you will. But this is definitely bottom 5. There's some other ones that are, like, notably terrible. And they're, like, so bad that this isn't the absolute worst, but it is one of the worst. The absolute worst, I think, is still that green-black one that, like, shuffles copies of a card that died into your library or something. It's like, oh, when it dies, put an oil counter and then shuffle, like, 4 copies of it. I don't know, it's Grax or something. That is definitively the worst commander. This was better than that because you can actually kill somebody with the text box. You can't kill someone with the text box of Grax, but you can with this. It's just a black-white beatdown strategy, but it's really slow, jank, low synergy, very low synergy. Just because you have a party doesn't mean your warriors like your wizards. So very low synergy and janky draft filler beatdown. That's what this was. The best cards in this deck were the rares and mythics that had nothing to do with my game plan. Like, if I ever had Elish Norn and the creatures in play to, like, do the thing, it was almost arguable to just sack my board to flip this, then keep whatever garbage I had in play. I know it removes the whole party thing, but, like, oh my goodness. Elish Norn probably probably shouldn't even be in here. The protection spells at 3 mana were extremely annoying to leave up if I ever felt like I had to. So the best idea, for the most part, was actually to not leave these up. Because I just couldn't afford to not spend mana. I had to actually cast spells. So I think Teferi's Protection, Unbreakable Formation, Boromir, just need to come right out of the deck. Just need to slip right out. Selfless Spirit can stay. This one's a cleric and solid. That's actually really good. I wish Boromir had a relevant creature type instead of soldier for this, but it doesn't. The white flare was a free one, right? It costs 0 mana, but you have to have a white creature to sack to it. However, you're sacrificing one of your creatures, and every creature you play is rather crucial to the party plan. So I really felt bad about doing that with any creature with the flare, the white flare. The black flare came up once. I don't think I ended up winning the game. I cast it in, but I kind of still like this one. I don't have a lot of creatures in my deck for it. Like, there really are not a lot of hits here, so this could easily come out as well. I really do. I think that. Westvale Abbey is extremely unrealistic. It does create a cleric, which is why it was in here, and then you have this random backside of it, which, you know, it's not happening. But if it ever did, that's kind of cool, but this probably shouldn't be in here. I don't even know if there was a game, I think maybe 2 games in 2 hours, roughly, or almost 2 hours, that I had 6 mana. So I don't even know if I'm ever getting to the point where I can actually cast this, or excuse me, activate it. It doesn't have a casting cost. So yeah, it doesn't work. It's janky, and I can't recommend it. There are a ton of more efficient ways of playing a black-white beatdown strategy, and there's more efficient ways of doing that even if you want to stay in a tribe. Because clerics exist. Just play black-white clerics. Do literally anything else. Anything else. And it will also save you the stress of this never casting anything sometimes off the top. Because there's 5 lands in a row. Which, for some reason, I'll say it again, I got really unlucky, and I will take that into consideration when I assess it. I did personally get unlucky with the top of my deck hitting a ton of lands. There wasn't... Okay, one more problem, and then I'm done. There was a lot of times where the thing on the top of my deck was not the right thing to cast. I shouldn't say a lot of times, because a lot of times it's a land, but If there was something on the top that I had the option of casting, if ever I chose not to cast it, you didn't get the card advantage because you're now drawing the card that was on top. You really want to cast the card on top. But there were a few times where I didn't, because the card in hand was much more important to cast anyways. Let's say to finish the party, if it was from hand instead of the top of your deck, that feels absolutely terrible because you didn't get the card advantage. Even if the card advantage was like jank, you're still now drawing jank next turn unless you can fetch it away. So, wow. Sometimes, even if it wasn't a land, I did not cast the top card. It is unbelievably terrible. So I'll leave it at that. I think that's all I can be negative about it. That's it, or as positive as possible. This does not function. I cannot recommend it. I guess I'll upload the list anyways. But if you like my lists and you play the decks I play, this doesn't beat dumpster tier decks, let alone the commanders that it pits you against. As like the queue time extends, it seems to pit you against harder and harder opponents. So if you're in the queue for 30 seconds, suddenly you're up against like Nicol Bolas and Pock because like it didn't find anyone in dumpster tier or something like that. It seems to be the case. I wouldn't be surprised if it broadened your available opponents, which means a nightmare scenario auto concede if you do find that is a situation. But that's it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about the deck. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.